right, Dean Croke joins us for today's carrier update presented by AT&T Business. Dean?
Hey Zach.
What do we got today?
Today I wanted to take us on a bit of a journey from the Pacific coast and the Andes and the Amazon River, all the way in Peru, where they grow blueberries, all the way up to the Philadelphia market, in particular the New Jersey side of the Philadelphia market, which is also the blueberry capital of the world.
Wow.
And it's a very interesting transition we're in right now. So the Philadelphia market is kind of sitting about here. This whole market in blue and light blue here generates about 10% of all the outbound tender volumes every day. So it's actually a fairly big market considering it's part of the northeast backhaul market.
Yeah, it's a huge corridor for freight though, because all the freight comes in there and then you have a lot of freight coming out of the port, right?
Right. So you get a lot of port volume coming in. It's also right on the 95, the I-95 north-south corridor. Right. And on the east side of the river in New Jersey, it's the 295 that bypasses all the traffic where the truck stops are. So what's important here is that because the ports on the east, so the west coast of South America are it's rocky, mountainous, they can't get big ships in. So what they do is they bring the produce out on breakbulk vessels.
Okay.
Where they literally put all of the pallets of blueberries and grapes and avocados in the hold of the refrigerated ship. So it's called a breakbulk reefer. And these reefers are pretty quick. They come up through the Panama Canal and they supply a lot of our winter produce through the port of Philadelphia. So, and what happens when these ships come in, and I've been tracking this for a year now. I watch when the vessel arrives in port, and it's on the opposite side of the river to the container terminal. It's in the Gloucester Marine Terminal where a lot of the breakbulk comes in. So when these breakbulk reefers arrive in port, they will drop about 150 to 200 truckloads of produce on the market in a 2-day period. So if you start to study the market, if we have a look at the map here, what you'll see is that there's a distinct delineation between where Philadelphia is here. So we've got this side is the Gloucester Marine Terminal. You've got the blueberry capital of the world down here in Hamilton. As we've gone through the summer and temperatures start to get a bit cooler up here in the northern part of the country, blueberries have become in harvest season, but this harvest season has just finished around here, the capital of the world. So what happens is we start to bring in our winter produce from other countries. Right. So we bring in avocados, tomatoes, all sorts of things come in from Mexico, but South America, because of the proximity and the ease of getting into these ports here in Philadelphia, we get a lot of produce that comes in via the breakbulk reefers. Now, we also get produce from Morocco with citrus that comes into Philadelphia.
Right, which is very popular.
Hugely popular in Canada, more than anything. So
why
again,
is that?
it's because the St. Lawrence Seaway freezes up in winter. They take away all the navigation buoys, so the breakbulk reefers can't get in from Europe to Canada. So what happens is they bring the freight into the East Coast ports around Massachusetts, New Bedford, Connecticut, and Philadelphia, and then it's sent by truckload, and it's like 8 or 9 hours, you're in Canada.
Wow.
By 10 hours. So it's a really efficient way to move winter produce around. As a country, we don't produce enough winter produce, so a lot of it comes in from South America. Now, from the point for the carrier update today, if you have a look at our next chart, what you'll see is our outbound tender volume index, which is the green line, and that shows you the volatility over the course of a year.
So Philadelphia, right up here.
This is Philadelphia in green. You can see it spikes a lot. Now, if we could dig in, what you'd see is these spikes coincide with when some of these large breakbulk reefers arrive.
Oh wow, right. So you could technically watch for ships coming in if you're a carrier.
Right, so if I'm a carrier and I'm in the northeast, I'm watching the timing of these breakbulk reefers from South America because I know within a day of it arriving, I've got a lot of produce at my disposal on load boards. And you can see that the tender rejection rate in orange for refrigerated trailers is somewhat elevated compared to dry vans. And again, the spikes in the volatility here coincide with when the ships are in port. So from a carrier update perspective, it's a small market, I think it's about 0.7%. It's not a huge market, but it's very strategic. It's easily to get into on the 295 off the 95. There are truck stops, and there's a lot of volume that comes in infrequently, but it's good solid volume. And if you run a produce truck and you're looking for loads, I'd be keying off winter produce and the timing of the breakbulk reefers.
All right, fascinating stuff. So carriers, watch for the ships.
Improve your fleet's efficiency with AT&T Fleet Complete, a 4G solution for tracking vehicles and simplifying ELD compliance. AT&T Fleet Complete, delivering fleet solutions for every business.